The Summer I Turned Pretty Season 3, Belly's Big Year. Last week, Belly traveled to Paris as Jeremiah dealt with the aftermath of their cancelled wedding. Meanwhile, Conrad decided to finally give everyone some space and return to California. This week's Season 3, Episode 10 covers a lot of territory for the Fishers and Conklins, including their year-long recuperation. However, some people are recuperating more slowly than others. It's Thanksgiving, and Belly is in Paris, with a job, an apartment, and roommates who can't abide her cooking. In fact, her housemates do not appear to enjoy her at all, or the scent of her stuffing for her genocidal holiday. In voiceover, Belly claims that living in Paris is the first time she has done something truly on her own in her life. After 3 months, she is uncertain about her ability to continue with the experiment. She bravely travels to the boulangerie to request chocolate croissants in French, only to be met with an English response. She goes to school online while doing many low-paying jobs under the table. It's astonishing she has any employment at all, because Belly's French is absolutely bad. She still has the pals she met during the party, but they are wary of Belly's cuisine. She explains to them the idea of Friendsgiving. Then she admits to being homesick and lonely, knowing that all of her loved ones in America will be together today. Her new friends attempt to persuade her to return home for a visit, at least for Christmas, but she believes she is not ready. If she goes home, she may not return. Instead, she must stay and unclog French toilets to develop character. That night, she FaceTimes Taylor, who is preparing supper with Steven. Taylor struggles to maintain solitude in her shared apartment living room without headphones, and she is also disturbed by an amorous Steven. Belly attempts to provide Taylor with a more accurate assessment of her current circumstances and expresses reservations about returning home for the December holiday. It doesn't take much to convince her, so now Belly has something to look forward to. Meanwhile, Jeremiah is aggressively making out with a random female on the kitchen island. Apparently, he's kissing too many people, judging by the response of another possible love interest who steps in. Friendsgiving only gets more uncomfortable from there. Taylor admits she is traveling to Paris after asking Jere to handle his emotions in a more appropriate manner. Jere is unwilling to leave Steven's sofa and return to Finch, and he has not responded to any of Conrad's numerous texts. He did, however, make a large supper, and Denise arrives with Adam, a surprise guest who interrupts the children's meal. Adam was meant to be at Kaylee's parents' house, but he refuses to explain why he did not join her. He did send champagne from Jere and Belly's cancelled wedding, which quickly dampened the mood. First, he recognizes Steven and Denise as loyal workers. Jeremiah returns to Denise's house to watch television, where he still resides a month after Thanksgiving. She shit-talks his father, making him chuckle. Denise appears to be confident about her future riches, despite Adam's interfering. Jere informs her that he skipped supper because he couldn't face Conrad again. Denise provides the necessary support for Jere, who claims that it is more difficult to accept Belly's departure than his mother's death. Denise advises him to accept what occurred and forgive everyone, even Belly and Conrad, because it just serves to strengthen his position. He is startled to find that Denise has had her heart shattered before. They discover they're excellent friends, so Denise brings him to her family's Christmas dinner. Back in Paris, Belly welcomes Taylor to their New Year's celebrations. They like coffee, croissants, wine, and fashion, and Benito participates in some of the activities. On New Year's Eve, they dress in silver and decorate Belly's flat for a party. Taylor discusses her plans to live with Steven after graduation and then brings up Benito, who is undeniably cute. Taylor is attempting to link them up, underlining the significance of the traditional rebound. And then Jere calls. Belly answers, and Jere calls from his work in a restaurant kitchen. They had a pleasant talk about escargot before Belly expresses her delight at hearing from him again. She apologizes again and expresses her deep guilt for what happened, but Jere refuses to discuss it. He assures her that he is okay and wishes her well. It appears to be a time of closure rather than a fresh beginning. Later, the party begins at a house full of strangers. Benito arrives to flirt and with a package he discovered below from Conrad. Belly discloses to Taylor that he has been writing. They open the care box, which contains Belly's favorites, Sour Patch Kids and her polar bear, Junior Mint, who is wearing the haunting eternity necklace. Taylor is skeptical, questioning whether this is why Belly has only ridden Benito's Vespa. Belly said she is not frightened of being hurt again, but of harming someone else. Taylor advises her to realize that these things are part of life and that her previous chapters are over. As the clock counts down, Belly grabs Benito for a spectacular midnight kiss beneath the glitter. He replies excitedly. Moving forward to spring, Belly and Benito awaken in bed together, only to be awakened by her roommates. But at least she can communicate with them in French now. Belly's English abilities have improved considerably, yet her housemates still appear to despise her. Later, while assisting Gemma in moving in with her partner, Belly mentions that Benito has invited her to join him in Mexico for a trip this summer, but she plans to return to the United States for the Finch graduation. That is, until Gemma offers her to rent her home. Laurel calls